So last week I said that we were going to talk about budgets. And the first thing you have to do when starting a budget is figuring out which budget tool works best for you. And if you go out there and Google personal financial budget, you're going to find that there are dozens and dozens of options out there. And obviously I don't have time to go through them all, but what I'd like to do is I'd like to cover my personal favorite one, which is the zero-based budget. So with a zero-based budget, what the goal is for every dollar of income to have a name in the budget itself. So here's an example that I built out here. We have a family, husband and wife, monthly take-home pay is $2,000. And as you can see in their budget, they have a place for every one of those $2,000. And so what happens is those extra dollars that we have, they don't sift through our hands as easily because we have a name for them. So here is a worksheet that you can find at ramseysolutions.com here, this email down here, or this website down here. And so how it would work would be you would put your take-home pay here, and that would also be down here in this category. And then you'd start building out your budget. So obviously things like mortgage, maybe your gas or internet or that kind of thing is a pretty consistent monthly cost. You just start building those out there. Your grocery bills, get an idea of how much they are on a monthly basis. You know, things like auto insurance, maybe a fixed amount, so you put that in there. And then once you've kind of filled out your budget, you're going to add up everything in the budgeted category and put it in this section here. And hopefully, at the end of the adding up there, you have some sort of leftover dollar amount in this category here. You don't want to leave that in that category though. What you want to do is you want to take those funds and reinsert them somewhere into the budget. So if you have extra funds and maybe you don't have an emergency fund yet, maybe you want to put some in the emergency fund to start building an emergency fund. Or if you want a vacation that you're planning on, maybe you want to put it in the vacation category. Or, extra pocket money. So maybe you want to put it in these categories here. So ultimately what's going to happen is when you add up the budgeted category, you want this take-home pay and the budgeted category to equal zero. You want those to be the same amount so that every dollar has a name somewhere in the budget. And there's a nice little cheat sheet here and, and that kind of thing. But that's just to give you a general idea of how a zero-based budget is going to work. Like I said, you can find this form at ramseysolutions.com. And what I'd like to do next week is I'd like to go into more detail on how to use this budget on a monthly basis. And we'll talk about when to kind of put things in the spent category and that kind of thing. But this is a good place to start, and we'll dig deeper next week.